Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Change of Life channel. Today, I'd like to talk about SSHL, sudden sensorial hearing loss. We all know that the human body is an incredible machine with an incredible immune system that can heal itself. I want to tell you my story of what happened to me. Maybe, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. I started hearing weird. It was like hearing out of one ear, um, kind of far away. It's hard to remember because it was just my hearing was going, and within 24 hours, in my left ear, I was totally deaf. Couldn't hear a thing, nothing out of that ear. So I kind of freaked out because I'd never heard of this SSHL before. I guess when I looked it up, it's between 5 and 20 per 100,000 per year experiences, which is pretty rare. And they also mentioned that it's probably higher than that because it goes undiagnosed. People don't go to the doctors for it. I was freaking out. I didn't know if it was an ear stroke or some kind of a stroke or what the heck it could be. So I started looking it up, and I ended up calling the doctor, and I was able to get a referral to a ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist for an emergency appointment. They come in and they take you and they put you in a soundproof booth, and they test your hearing. There's extreme loss in that ear, and nobody seems to know what causes it. They have 10 possibilities, and then I asked, could it be stress, and they said no, and they go, well, we don't know. So I was pretty distressed, and they can't tell you what it is. Can't tell you why you got it. All they do is, I guess, when the medical profession doesn't know what else to do, they throw steroids at the problem. So they wrote me a prescription for steroids. Well, they also, let me back up a little bit, they offered me a steroid injection in my ear, which I think they wanted to do once a week. I couldn't do that. And then the steroids, 40 years ago when we had our second child, they had a platelet problem, and again, it was an idiopathic ailment, and what they did was they wanted to throw steroids at it, and they sent us home with steroids to give to a 1 week old baby, 1 week, 2 weeks old. I don't know, it was 38 years ago, and we couldn't do it. And eventually, she worked it out. The body healed itself, and we didn't do the steroids. Platelet count came back up. We tried to, it was another idiopathic disease. The only thing that we could come up with, we didn't really get this confirmed by the medical profession, was my wife had a root canal done during her pregnancy, and somehow baby was born with a low platelet count, and they were all freaked out. They did bone marrow tests to check for cancer on a 2 week old infant. It was just ridiculous. We felt like guinea pigs. But the human body healed itself. So I've been doing intermittent fasting for 3, 4, 5 years now, and I've been able to maintain my weight and feel great when I do it. So in learning about fasting, intermittent fasting, and fasting in general, um, especially dry fasting, that extended fasts can, through autophagy, which is the body eating itself, when you don't eat outside calories, I guess your body goes into a mode where it starts to eat itself, and if there's any inflammation or unused um, or defective cells, or it goes in and it destroys it. Now, this is by no means medical advice at all. I'm just telling you what I did, my story, because I don't believe and I don't trust in pharmakia that is pushed upon us every day in every way. Poison pills are everywhere. They've got us convinced that a little bit of poison is good for you every day. Maybe not even a little bit, maybe a lot of poison. So what I did, rather than start the steroids, I went on a 42-hour dry fast. And from there, I went on somewhat of a water fast. It was a turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon stick. I guess cinnamon's just for the flavor. But the turmeric is the big, what do they call it? Not a spice, but I don't even know what they call turmeric or turmeric. But I'm sure you know what it is. I had the organic turmeric, cut it up, peeled it, boiled it, and I drank that every day for 5 days. I went on a 5-day water fast. Well, 4.5 days. I cut it off at 110 hours. And I also had a mixture of salt water, potassium, which would be Epsom salt, potassium, which is no salt, and magnesium, which is Epsom salt. And I sipped on that as well just to keep my electrolytes up. But I guess, so I did 3 things. I kept my electrolytes up on my water fast with my potassium, magnesium, and Himalayan sea salt mixture recipe. And then I did turmeric, ginger, cinnamon stick, and some cayenne pepper. And I drank that for 5 days, no food. Did my regular exercise, and my hearing began to come back. Now, I don't know if it was because of that or just because it was coming back, because I was absolutely stone deaf in that ear. And it freaked me out because I didn't think it was even possible. And then once I lost it, I didn't think it was even possible for it to have it come back. So it started to come back gradually over those 5 days this past week. I went on, I think I stopped, I don't have my calendar here, but the last meal I had was Saturday afternoon, and the next meal I had was Thursday morning. So it was 110 hours. And my hearing right now is back about 70% from what it was. Now, I'm a 60-something guy, and I've always been very satisfied with my hearing and never thought I would even need a hearing aid, 10 years from now. And now they're telling me I need one in my left ear. But since they've checked it, the hearing has improved, the volume has come up, the clarity is still not there. So they claim it's inflammation. Now they claim it could be inflammation. They've also ordered a CT scan, but I'm still waiting for the hospital to call me so we can do a CT scan. They don't seem to be in any urgent rush to do it. Maybe they have a line of people up that they can't fit me in yet. But I will do the CT scan as far as I know, if they call me. I don't think I'm going back to the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat. I'm going to cancel my follow-up appointment in 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. Oh, I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, they said 2 weeks, and then they had Thanksgiving in the way. So I don't know. I don't have my calendar here. I just know it's coming up on the 28th. But I think I'll cancel it. It really freaked me out. Um, I don't know if what I did made a difference because nobody seems to know what the cause is. Nobody seems to know what the treatment is except just throw steroids at it, that it's possibly inflammation. Now, turmeric, I don't know how to say it, um, and fasting work on inflammation. I do a lot of walking and I do a lot of intermittent fasting like every other day. But this time I did an extended fast, which went for 4.5 days. Um, so I'll keep you informed of my progress. But I just want to tell you what I did. Don't take my medical advice. I'm just telling you what I did to try to remedy a idiopathic uh, ailment, medical emergency that the medical industry, guesses at and throws steroids at it uh, with no guarantees, with no hopes, with no real. The only reason they throw steroids at it is because they don't know what else to do. So I couldn't take the injection in my ear. I just couldn't do it. I don't want the cure to be worse than the medical emergency. With steroids, um, I've got a couple of stents, and I don't want to have heart problems and make things worse to taking their poison because it's a lot. They want to take 6 pills for 6 days for 3 days in a row, and then 5 pills, and so on down the line for 18 days. All those things. I mean, we have a gut bacteria that when you take antibiotics, it destroys it, and you lose most of your immune system is in your gut bacteria, from what I understand. Excuse me. That's the way I believe it anyway. It's the way I've learned about it. So I hope this information was useful for you. For any of you that don't trust the medical establishment, don't trust big pharma, and are confused that they don't know why, and they don't know how, and they don't know how to fix it, and So what I did, bottom line, just to wrap it up, my theory was to take an anti-inflammatory home remedy along with no food for 4.5 days or 110 hours. Did that lead to my, hearing recovery? I'd like to say yes, but I can't say. Maybe it just came back. I mean, because according to some of according to the doctor that I met with, the specialist, he said some people just wake up and it's back. So probably a lot of people don't even treat it. So it's probably a lot more common than they even know. I was kind of embarrassed that I ran to the doctor that quick, but my PCP said, you got to treat it like a medical emergency, because I guess the sooner they treat it with steroids, the greater the success rate that they have. So that's just what I did. So I'm just sharing that with you. Maybe there's some hope there. But again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. And I'm telling you where I stand at this point in time. I can hear. I guess this sudden hearing loss happens in young people, children. They never get their hearing back. I just know that there's huge schools for the deaf now for kids. I don't know if it's something in the water that or something in the air, or something in the food. I didn't do anything differently than I have had over the last several years, decades, and my hearing disappeared. It's. it's more than shocking. It's because you don't know whether it's a symptom of something else, a symptom of something that's more severe. And from what I've learned with this experience for myself is the medical profession doesn't know, and they just whenever they don't, I'm probably repeating myself here, but whenever they don't know what to do with an ailment, they throw steroids at it. Oh well. Thank you for listening to my story. Um, I'll come back in a couple of weeks, probably the middle of December. I'll come back in a month, maybe sooner, and I'll let you know if there's any change. I'll let you know if I, treat it any differently, and let you know if I learned any more. Um, Thanks again for listening. I know this channel that I have here is all over the place, from sun gazing to football picks to squeezing limes, and I'm just trying to make it through this life just like you are, trying to do the best thing I can for myself and my family, trying to live by the Hippocratic Oath, even though I'm not a medical professional. I'll do no harm. Um, I just can't poison myself with pharmacia by my own mouth, by my own hand, without at least giving my, this incredible creation that we have here, immune system, chance to, have us get out of the way and let the immune system take over by fasting. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about fasting, about other ailments that it's cured, and I just wanted to give it a try because I didn't know what else to do, and I didn't want to throw steroids at it. So have a great day. I'll be back to let you know a little more of what happened. Bye for now. Good luck. I hope you don't have to go through this or know anybody that has to go through this, because it's mind numbing. We'll be back very soon to let you know how we doing. Thanks. Bye.